I'm Cody Story, owner of Story Fitness, mobility specialist, and unconventional strength and conditioning coach. I help my clients to get fit, believe in themselves, and experience the joy that comes from living a healthy lifestyle. This video today is all about defining what is joint mobility. Why is that even important? Well, if you're anything like me and my clients, we want results, and I bet you do too. You want a return on your investment. If we start to define some terms, we can produce clarity, and with that clarity, we can create specificity, and you can have an intention behind what you do. That way you can pursue a goal and actually get the results you want. What is joint mobility? Let's jump right into it. It's the ability to actively control a joint throughout its entire range of motion independently of all other joints. So I've circled joint and joints. That's what we're talking about, joint mobility, our biology. So let's look at what a joint is so we can go a little deeper into this definition. It's the space between two bones, allowing them to move independently of one another. So the space between two bones, meaning I should be able to move because there's space, one bone without the other bone moving. Or I could move this bone without the other one moving. And the only way that that's possible is if there is space. Without space, if I move this bone, the other bone moves with it, and then we don't even have a joint. We have to have space to have a joint. So if we're talking about the ability to actively control a joint throughout its entire range of motion, independently of all other joints, we're going to need space. With space, we can have independence. Now, let's move into what mobility is. It's the ability to move or be moved freely and easily. So the ability to move, me moving or you moving, you doing the work. Or being moved would mean somebody else is doing the work for you. Which brings us to mobility versus flexibility. So being moved is flexibility. It's passive. Moving yourself, that's active. That's mobility. And that's the difference between the two. A lot of times I have people combine stretching into the idea of flexibility. Like pulling on muscles is going to be the solution. And flexibility, it's not that it's a bad thing, it's just I used to pursue flexibility as far as I knew it, and I never really got anywhere. It made me feel good sometimes, and for certain periods of days that would go by, but I never really achieved the goal that I was truly after, because I was interested in joint mobility, but I didn't know there was a difference between the two. So in my pursuit for mobility, I got confused, mixed up, and I went down the wrong path. So I'm trying to basically save you time and energy and save you from making the same mistakes that I've made. Mobility deals with active control of a joint. Active control is important because life is active. It's not passive. Sport is active. Training is active. It's necessary if you want to go out and have an active lifestyle or pursue rock climbing or pursue weightlifting or pursue basketball or tennis or running. It's active. You're not passively running or hiking. You're actively doing that. Your nervous system, your joints are functioning and someone's not doing it for you. It's not a passive thing. Let's move into the importance of prerequisites. So a prerequisite means that your joints have the required ranges of motion to allow you to do the things that you want to do. Say you want to do a handstand and you're going to propel or fling your body weight up onto your wrists, and your wrists don't have 90 degrees of extension. Let's say they stop prior to that. The motion is going to have to come from somewhere else. It could be the elbow, it could be the shoulder, it could be the neck, and then all of those other joints are compensating for the lack of range of motion in the wrist when it needs 90 degrees. And that's just starting point number one, meaning you should have the passive range, but you should also have active control of that range. Because once you're up there in the handstand, first you need that passive range, but then when you're there, you're active. It's not a passive activity. Holding a handstand is very active. You're having to control where your body is in space while you're upside down. So it would be pretty important to, number one, have the passive range of motion, but then also have the active range of motion. So while you're there, you're safe and it's more effective. You'll have better control of your joints, meaning better control of your body. So that's a big byproduct of having prerequisites and improving upon your mobility. So if you're interested in getting results, this is basically a formula. It's a definition, but it's pointing in the direction that you would like to go if that's important to you. If you follow these guidelines, you can start to go deeper and get more specific and start applying science. And you can start affecting or influencing your biology in the direction that you would like to. So if you like this video today, it was helpful to you, go ahead, click like, share, or subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.